And so to the extent that there might be developments about who's coming next and so on, we are prepared to do that one briefing per day. But we do want to work with you, and that's why we thought let's call all of you and then have a kind of understanding of how we're going to do this going forward. So that's really it. So we'll answer any broad questions that you might want to ask about the process, and then also what I've just said about the practical, how we're going to work together. This is Commissioner Doris Tsepe, who is the co-spokesperson of the JSC, and she and I will then field whatever questions might come. I see there's already one hand. Maybe Silo will identify whoever wants to say something, and then we take it from there. I think I can see two hands. There's Alison and Karen. There's Alison and Karen.
Advocate, in relation to something that you said yesterday, you said that in talking about the criteria for a Chief Justice, if you identified 3 areas, and you identified the first one as skills and experience, the second one is leadership and people skills, and the third one as administrative and management skills. Could you talk to us a little bit more about those criteria and maybe a little more detail on each one?
Will be that to the extent that the criteria are not clear, then they must be made as clear. Even if they've been made clear before, they must be made clear again, because there's no purpose of saying we've made them clear if there's still people who feel that the criteria are not clear. But zooming back to your question specifically, of course, everything I've just said is about the criteria for appointing judges, any judges. But what I was saying yesterday was specifically about the Chief Justice. That the Chief Justice, the three areas that I mentioned, obviously would relate particularly to the Chief Justice and to some extent all the leaders of the courts, judge presidents, president of the SCA, and so on. And that is just the simple point that when we interview for such positions, we are obviously already interviewing judges and senior judges, leaders. If it's a JP, the candidate is likely to be a deputy JP. So we're not here to find whether this person is suitable to be a judge. That would have been done 10 years or 15 years prior. But of course, the legal skills, as one of the candidates said, is their core business. But you're looking for more. You're looking for a leader, as I always call it, as a leader off the bench, but a leader on the bench as well. But you're also looking for administrative skills, and you're looking for leadership, people skills, because you're managing people and egos and all sorts of things. You know, human beings are human beings. So it's that kind of interview. This is just at a higher level, but it's simply that kind of interview where you look at a more rounded set of criteria than just whether you can write a good judgment or whether you can just be a good leader and so on.
Thank you. I've just got one question. So will the purpose of the briefing on Saturday be to advise which candidate will be committed to president appointment?
No.
Thank you so much for the question, and I think it's an important question. I think one of the key things we have agreed on doing is this is a process of the president. He has asked us to do something, and in doing that function, the JSC has agreed that we will inform the president first before we make it public to the media or to the rest of the country. So it will be just to inform you of where we are at that point, but inform the president first and thereafter make it public. Thank you.
I have two queries.
Sure.
The first of all, we looked at this issue of guidelines around who should be appointed as Chief Justice. And I mean, manifestly in your situation at the Supreme Court, there may be perceptions that you are biased in terms of your questioning specific of judiciary and general because of the fact that there's a pending potential LBC investigation in regards to your conduct at the Zondo inquiry, and also because your client, the former president, is seeking in a refusal application against Zondo in the High Court. Do you have any apprehension that you should possibly not participate in that questioning because of perceptions of possible bias in the part? And the second question is unrelated, and Heidi pointed this out. In relation to CJ McQueen, our understanding is that he has passed the deadline that he was given by the JCC to apologize for the Israel comment. Is the JCC aware of lodging any litigation to review that decision? And if not so, what action can the JCC take in order to ensure that he does make good on that apology that he was ordered to make?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, on your first question, look, I'm not going to comment, obviously, I'm not going to comment about myself. Anyone who is aggrieved about any commissioner, I'm now speaking for the JSC, has a right to complain about that commissioner to the powers that be. The only powers that be that I can think of would be the courts or the president, because we're all here appointed by the president. Or maybe there could be a third one, which is the bodies that have put our names here. If you look at section 178 of the JSC, it explains exactly how each person gets to be a commissioner. So I think that those processes should be followed. Whether it's me or anybody, it's the same. You know, the rules must apply. If you ask me if I have any apprehension, no, definitely not. I think it's just, you know, not even worth responding to be honest. I mean, because people were here when we sat with DCJ Zondo in October, and, you know, I speak to him frequently in my capacity as a spokesperson. He's the acting Chief Justice. I think people are just manufacturing it for their own ulterior purposes. So no, there's no such perception. Now, in respect of the former Chief Justice, yes, the information that I actually received yesterday was that the 10 days has not yet expired. So maybe on Saturday you can ask us that question. Anything? Anybody?
But he hasn't indicated that he wants to litigate. There's no indication of this yet.
No, well, as you correctly say, these things work in stages. Once the 10 days expires, then we get to the next level. Yeah. I don't know what, he has not indicated anything. I don't think Silo can confirm.
Yes, he has not, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we must wait until the 10 days, you know, and then if after the 10 days he hasn't said anything, that's when then,
Yeah.
you know, we can talk about something.
Okay.
That's why advocating office is correct to say you can ask on Saturday or maybe on Friday as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question, colleagues?
Okay, we're happy. So do you prefer to talk to us in the mornings or lunchtime or after the interviews? Lunchtime is better. Yeah, then even then, yeah, we can even do it in the usual way outside and just give you a 5-10 minutes thing, or even here, whatever you prefer. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.